Good morning, students. Today we will have to discuss the human respiratory system. In previous classes, we have discussed what is respiration, what do you mean by respiration, types of respiration, and the types of respiration on the basis of the involved organs, presence and absence of the oxygen, etc. Now we will have to concentrate our this lecture on human respiratory system. As you know that human is the pulmonary breather. Pulmonary breather means the individual who respire, who breathe with the help of lungs. That is called pulmonary breather. Human has a well-developed respiratory system, where we will study that respiratory system in three phases. Number one, that is external respiration, that is inspiration and expiration. Second, that is transport of gases. And third part, that is your cellular respiration, we have discussed previously in the introductory lecture of the respiration. The first part of the respiration, human respiration, is nostril. There is a nostril which open into the nasal tract, which is equipped with the hairs, and many more mucus glands are present here. Both this hair and the mucus glands are responsible for the filtration. A wide space, that is called nasal chamber, which is responsible for the acclimatization of the air, either temperature controlling or excess water or vapors will be just drained out. Now this open into the pharynx. It is nostrils. This one is the nasal chamber, and it is the pharynx. A small pipe, small space, about 15 centimeter only, and that is the pharynx. And this pharynx can be divided into three parts. One that is called oropharynx, second that is called nasopharynx, and third one the laryngopharynx. It means the mouth also open here. This pharyngeal part, and this part is called oropharynx because buccal cavity open here, and this is called gullet. The pharynx which receive this nasal part is called nasopharynx, and this is called glottis. Having a flap made up of cartilage, and that is called epiglottis. Epiglottis. It open inside it, and there is opening here. This is the gullet, and this one is called glottis mainly. This gullet, the air can insert inside the esophagus, but the food can't insert inside the, because there is a covering which covered at the time of engulfing of the food or the intake of the water. So it is fully protected, and this the function of this particular glottis is to protect the entry of the food or the water inside this particular respiratory system, respiratory part of the body, from to protect it. Now, this pharynx leads to the trachea. This one is the trachea. Suppose this trachea is equipped with the C-shaped cartilaginous ring, and this trachea divided into two parts. Both are called primary bronchus. It is called primary bronchus. It opens into the lungs. This primary bronchus opens into the lungs. It has been observed that the right bronchus is somewhat larger than that of the small bronchus. It is also equipped with the cartilaginous ring. It opens into the lungs. It also opens into, yeah, you know that this bronchus, primary bronchus is larger than the secondary bronchus. Primary bronchus, that is the bronchus which is present in the left hand side, is larger than that of the right bronchus, and this primary bronchus is further divided into secondary, then to the tertiary, then to the manimode, and this up to this part, secondary or tertiary bronchus, it is equipped with the C-shaped cartilaginous ring, and they are protective device of this particular system, that is from the trachea to the tertiary or the quaternary bronchus. Now, a very fine tube-like structure, that is called alveolar duct. Alveolar duct is formed here, and this alveolar duct open into the alveolus. Actually, this alveolus is the site where the exchange of the gases take place. Now, we'll have to study here that this lungs is covered by two-layered thin membranous structure, that is called pleura. And this pleura, in between this two-layered pleura, there is a fluid called pleural fluid. And this cavity is called pleural cavity. Actually, this pleural cavity, both are pleura and pleural fluid, both are responsible to save this particular lungs from any type of the physical jerk. So it is also called shock absorber. Okay. Now, what is the cause of this type of depression? This depression is called cardiac notch. It means the part of the heart is present here, and it certainly bulges inside it. Because of that, this left lungs are smaller rather than right lungs. This lungs, both the lungs, are protected inside rib cage. Now we'll have to see the study of rib cage. Rib cage. Twelve pairs. 12 pairs of ribs. 12 thoracic vertebrae, external and internal intercostal muscles and diaphragm. As well as pharynx muscle. All are responsible to form the rib cage. Now we'll have to study that how this rib cage is formed and what are their functions. Suppose this is the thoracic vertebrae. Sternum also have a vital role in the formation of the rib cage. Having 12 pairs of ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3 and 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here you will observe that this one is the sternum. This one is the sternum. Combine with the 7th, and this 2 is called floating ribs. This 2 is called floating ribs. A diaphragm is just connected with this sternum, and in between this ribs, this type of muscles is present, and this is all about the rib cage. Inside this rib cage, the lungs is very much protected. Now we'll have to discuss that what is the function of this particular ribs or this particular diaphragm or this particular sternum in the case of breathing. Now, breathing. That is inspiration and expiration. Here I will have to study with the help of, give an example with the help of an practical example. Just suppose this one is the bottle, and the bottle have no bottom, it is debottomed. A tube having a balloon, well tagged balloon, and it is very much protected with the hanged with the help of the cork to make it airtight chamber. Here is also a balloon like this. It is tagged, and with the help of plastic strings we will have to. Now the question, without blowing or without use of pump, we will have to insert air inside it. What we will have to perform? If we push this particular balloon downwards, then what happens? The volume increased. And due to because of the airtight chamber, whenever the volume is increased due to pushing of this particular balloon, then the pressure of this particular bottle is decreased. And to maintain the decreased pressure, the atmosphere will start to gush inside it, and due to that, what happens? The balloon become inflated. It is just a physical process of this experiment, and it will happen in the body of the human being during inspiration. Whenever we push it, then volume decrease, pressure increase, and air will go out, and this will be happen in the expiration. How it will happen, we will have to discuss. During inspiration, here muscle that is called intercostal muscle, and another muscle that is called diaphragmic or pharynx muscles. If these two contract, then what happens? We will have to observe. Suppose this one is the vertebral column, this is the diaphragm, this one is the diaphragm, and the ribs are attached here. Whenever it contracts, what happens? Both muscles contract. What happens? During contraction, the movement of this sternum is like this. It means the sternum move at that place. The diaphragm become flat. It means the volume is increased. Volume is increased and pressure decreased. Then what happens? Like that of the bottle, the inspiration takes place. It means contraction of muscles causes movement of sternum upward and forward. Movement of diaphragm downward. Now, due to this movement, what happens? Volume of rib cage increase. Pressure decrease. Air move inside lungs called inspiration. It means suppose this one is the internal part of the lungs. The air is filled here. During inspiration, what happens? This air will compressed in this area. It is not oxygen containing, but it has more carbon dioxide, because during expiration what happens, the air is retained. It means it is used air. Now whenever the air will come during inspiration, this air will be here. Just I am giving you the demarcating it with the help of the colorful chalk. The green air represent the air remains. It means it has more carbon dioxide and it has more oxygen. Now, whenever contraction, whenever the muscles relaxed, the movement of sternum downward and backward. It means this again move here. The position of the sternum is now shifted here. Sternum shifted here. This volume is decreased, and due to this position, what happens? The diaphragm muscle downward and backward, the diaphragm become dome shaped. Again, dome shaped. Just we have observed that during inspiration, what happens? The volume is this diaphragm is flat, but now the diaphragm is dome shaped. The volume of the rib cage decrease. The pressure increase. What happens? The air move outside, move out of lungs, and that is called expiration. But during expiration, just we have observed here that during expiration, the pressure is decreased. Here, relaxation of muscle, downward, backward, the pressure is increased and air move outside. Pressure increased, air move outside. When air move outside, then what happens? Again this system is restart, and during lower down of pressure, there is a chance of chance to collapse this particular system, because tube can become and the tube may be flat. To prevent this particular collapse, this rib cage, this C-shaped cartilage helpful for it. Now, when inspiration takes place, the air will move here, accumulate here, and it is the site of exchange of gases. We will discuss it another part of the lecture.